Hey guys, Cameron here with Emerson Property Management. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable portfolio in about 2 years and now manage that portfolio as well as this mustache. I don't know what to do with it. Anywho, today guys I want to talk about property management companies. So obviously we do property management, kind of, I've told this story, but started out buying my own rental properties, got to a certain level, I think it was like 10 or 15. I'm like, might need some help here while I'm working a full-time job. Couldn't find anybody to do it the way I wanted it done, so started Emerson Property Management. But this comes out quite a bit. For you guys that are new, maybe you have one property, you're handling it totally fine, or somebody who's saying, hey, I've got 3, 4, or 5, and I'm still trying to work so I can fund my goals, so I can, I just want real estate as a side thing. I don't want it to be my full-time deal. You guys might be looking at property management companies. Now, I have umpteen guides, resources, free calculators, questions to ask property managers, all sorts of stuff. But one thing I want to just hone in on this video is to convey that property management companies are not all the same. So I've talked about this, I feel like repetitively over the past month or 2 months as people are looking to hire us, and I've had more and more sales conversations with potential owners. This question comes up. It's like, well, this company offers, this company charges this amount per month and this company charges this amount per month. Well, they're the same property, it's property management. I'm getting the same thing. This is just cheaper. This is more expensive. And I just want to talk through that for a few minutes because that's just inherently not true. Property management companies are not all created equal. I'll use oil, just being in Houston, it seems fitting, but a barrel of oil is a barrel of oil is a barrel of oil. That is 42 gallons. There is a certain parameter that you have to meet to be Brent crude or whatever, sweet, sour. Those all have parameters. And you don't have to worry about getting into it, but you see what I'm saying? There is a criteria that we have. When you go and buy, a gallon of milk, there is a criteria that has to meet that certain specification. In property management, you don't have that. Any company can do anything. I cannot do maintenance. I can do maintenance. I can do leasing. I cannot do leasing. I can do rent collection. I cannot do rent collection. There's so many different ways and different things that property management companies can do. Some people don't even have a friggin' license, then they do it, which is fine. That's fine. You can manage your own without a license. I'm not saying you have to go get licensed to manage your own property, but there are people that go and continue to stay on the forefront of what's going on in the industry and bring on technology. There are people that don't use any sort of property management software, don't really care. There's just such a wide swath of what property management companies do. So, having said that, when you guys are comparing companies side by side, and if you're looking, if you go to our website, you guys will see we have all our prices. If you guys go to our website, we have all our prices and servicing laid out. So you guys can see all our charges. Everything that we do and we charge is laid out for you. There are a lot of companies that don't do that. They'll tease you. Everybody does this. This isn't just in property management. They'll tease you with, $79 property management. But what they don't tell you is they nickel and dime you on electronic transfers. They nickel and dime you on year-end statements, technology fees, all sorts of stuff. And I've talked about this before. I think I did a video on it. You'll have to check here, or a reel of some sort. But talking about all the fees there are. I've been to meetings and done interviews and spoken with other property managers. And they're like, dude, you need to be charging more fees. That's how you're going to grow in this business. Charge more fees. And if you can get 100, 200 doors and charge an extra $5 or $10 a month per person or per door, you're making a lot more money. That's not the way we do stuff. So the reason I want to put this out there and the reason I want you guys to pay attention to this is when you're looking at property management companies, there's really 3 things that property management companies do, core things. And then there's obviously ancillary things, a bunch of ancillary pieces that come off that. But collect rent, that's one thing. So if you have a tenant in place and you're like, hey, I don't want to have to collect rent. they're dealing with cash, I'm dealing with whatever. They collect rent. They handle the maintenance. So tenant needs something done, have emergency line or whatever. Hey, I've got this repair or something, and then the property manager will make the decision on who is going to pay for that. And then the last thing is the turnover and leasing. So, and actually that can even be broken out. Turnover, handling the make ready, doing the bigger, sort of repairs, flooring, tile, showers, granite counter. And they can do bigger jobs or not. Some of them don't. And then the leasing. So I know several companies that have outsourced each of these different sections or different parts of the business. So we do in-house leasing. Some companies partner with a realtor or partner with a group of realtors to handle their leasing. Some companies partner with, a certain vendor or have vendors on payroll. There's just umpteen different ways they can do that. And there's obviously different charges and costs that come along with that. So if there's anything I can say about this, it's really just make sure that when you guys are looking at property management companies, or let's just say you're doing a really good job and you got 5, 10, 20 properties of your own, you're like, I want to start a property management business. Understand that there are a lot of different services you can offer. So those were the main ones I talked about, but there's several different ancillary services, resident benefit packages, insurance for security deposits. There's umpteen different things. I can go on, and every company does a little differently. So to summarize, not all property management companies are created the same. Understand that when you're interviewing and looking at different property management companies, that you have to take into consideration that what exactly do they do? In-house versus outsource. What am I going to get for my money? What else? What other charges are there going to be? Don't get nickel and dimed. I don't like getting nickel and dimed. I don't think anybody else does either. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next week.